comes to the wallet instead of going through something else, but I had a problem. I did it through pancake swap, and we can talk it about later,
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna get into that. Okay, so I just want to kind of clarify the differences between the centralized exchanges, which is what we all started using, like you mentioned, the Binance and the Bittrex, and so those are the ones where we send our coins there, and then we might trade, Ethereum for Litecoin or Zcash for Bitcoin or whatever. Trade those back and forth. But those are centralized exchanges where there's a company, similar to the New York Stock Exchange that's controlling that and running that operation. And so we, normally would send our coins there. And I always recommend, if you're not trading, get the coins off the exchange back into your control, just so they don't disappear. One day I had that experience with a little exchange called Cryptopia, and I used it for some coins that were not on the bigger exchanges. They kind of specialized in the small coins. And there was one or two coins that I just couldn't move off into a wallet efficiently, or I couldn't find a wallet for them. So I just kind of kept them there. And then one day they up and closed and disappeared, and I learned my lesson. So you only have to learn that once. I try to share that wherever possible, is to get those coins off of the exchange if you're not using, actively trading in there. So what we're going to be talking about is the DeFi exchanges, like you mentioned, Pancake Swap and some of these other ones, and these ones worked using most often plugins for Chrome or the Brave browser, and those are the wallets that actually connect to the website or the decentralized app, or the D app, like people like to refer to them as. And so they're in your wallet. You connect on that exchange for what you want to exchange for, and then you execute the trade, and the coins go back into your wallet. And they never really leave, other than for that instance when the one coin's going out and the other coin's going in, and then you're done. You can disconnect, and you can't get hacked. If the website goes away, they don't have your coins, that kind of thing. And that's the upside there. You can also connect a number of those directly with a cold storage wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor. There's some options there as well. The see, what would Celsius be considered? I think that is still like a centralized exchange, because you're sending them over to them, as far as the way I understand it works, at least a couple months ago. So these I like to consider these DeFi things kind of like the do-it-yourselfer, a little, not quite a hacker thing, but you've got to be more involved with the process. So we'll get to that here in a second. But the upside to all this, and why I reference that we can get involved in the next financial system, is we can put, so what we talked about now is just exchanging the funds. Then the next step is putting our funds to work in a liquidity pool or a farm, which is the funds that get traded when somebody wants to make an exchange on a DeFi non-centralized exchange. And so when you go there, there's, you're not going to trade, Bob for Jim's coins at exact second. There needs to be coins in there. So when we go there to trade, there's something to, coins to go both ways. And so to make that happen, people have to put in their own funds to make that liquidity pool work. And this is different where on the centralized exchanges, the Binance company, they would put in millions of dollars, $1 million in Bitcoin and $1 million in Ethereum. And then when people want to trade those two, they would be there to trade. In these decentralized options, which these are basically the exchanges are basically smart contracts that just run and execute those trades. They need liquidity to do that, because these guys writing these smart contracts generally don't have millions of dollars. They may have a lot of coins or that kind of thing, but they look to others to get involved in that exchange process by supplying their liquidity, and then in turn paying them a good chunk of the fees that get charged for those exchanges. So it's like we get to be part of and involved and profit from the exchanges in this DeFi world, where now in a centralized world, whether it's, you know, Binance, Bittrex, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, it's those big players, the big money Wall Street guys that are collecting those fees. So for us to be able to get involved in that process, I think is you know, a great opportunity. It's fascinating. It's like power to the little guy, that kind of thing. So that's what really gets me excited. And when you see some of these returns that we can get in it without having to trade. I mean, a lot of people talk about, oh, I traded, I made, 2% a day or this kind of thing, but trading can also go bad where these exchanges are, people are exchanging daily back and forth. So kind of just to put a picture in your mind of what's going on. I want you to think of it as an exchange where there's gold and silver getting traded back and forth. So you might go in and you say, okay, I've got 50 silver coins and I want 1 silver coin, and you just trade back and forth. And so where that exchange is happening, there needs to be liquidity. So somebody comes along and says, okay, I've got $100,000 to put to work. I'm going to buy, and these numbers aren't going to make sense, just an example. I'm going to buy 1 gold coin and 50 silver coins, and then I'm going to put that into the liquidity pool for that exchange. And so that guy's funds are in the exchange and he did that in terms of gold and silver. Now, every time an exchange happens, he's going to earn, let's say, a half of a silver coin, per day. And so after 2 days, he's going to have 1 coin. After a week, he's going to have 3.5, et cetera, et cetera. And so he's going to have more value as those exchange happen, and he earns, a little cut on each transaction. Now, if the price of gold goes down, maybe more people are going to want to sell it or buy it, or, depending on their philosophy. And so his value in terms of dollars might change. If the price of gold and silver goes down, he could lose out by 20%, by 30%, 50%, but he's still going to have the same number of coins, and he's going to be increasing his silver coins, by half of a silver coin each day. But if the value goes down relative to the dollar, in his mind, that might be a loss type of thing. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And one of the potential downfalls to this is if you get involved in an exchange pool with a coin or 2 coins that are maybe a little shaky or not as I don't want to use the word stable, but not as consistent as Ethereum or Bitcoin or one of those, you could lose out that way. So that's one of the places that you got to watch out for. You'll see some of these that they'll come out and they'll be offering 1,500% APR, and you're like, holy cow, that's great. I'm gonna, put $500 in that, and then all of a sudden the value of that coin goes from $100 to $7. Well, you've been making $1,500 APR, but now what you're making has gone down by 90%. So that's kind of something you got to watch out for, and don't get sucked into these crazy high numbers. So let me share a screen here and kind of show you what this looks like. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully, can you guys see this pancake swap?
Yes.
Yes.
Now it says my screen is not being shared.
We can see it. Yeah.
We see it.
Okay, all right. So this is what Pancake Swap looks like. And if you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, it says connect. And I have here in, I'm using Brave, which is basically a clone of Chrome, offers a little more privacy features and actually pays you back in crypto for browsing. So that might be of interest. But anyway, up in the corner here are the extensions that are installed. So I have a number of them installed here, but the one that we're going to be using today is called the Binance Chain Wallet. And this works with the Binance Smart Chain, which is really an up and coming coin, if you've been following the price lately, and platform for a lot of the new smart contracts. You know, obviously Ethereum was the first one to do the smart contracts. They're getting, you know, bombarded with activity. The fees are growing, and, you know, speeds are slowing, that kind of thing. Tron is another one, as TRX is a symbol for Tron. That one seems to be started over in Asia and is very popular there. And they actually raised their fees by threefold about a month ago. But there's also a lot of smart contracts running on this one. And then the Binance seems to be kind of number 3 and, you know, catching up quickly. This is from the same organization as Binance.com, Binance.us, you know, and those kinds of things. So there's a lot of backing behind it as far as that goes. So if you click on it, you can see, now wait a minute, I should have a higher balance than that. So I'm a little questioning. Anyway, this is showing my balance. And you can do this send and receive just like you would a normal wallet. You put in the address to send and the amount, you know, that kind of thing. And then receive, you can, you know, put in your, get your receive address, or they've got the QR code. So this works just like, you know, other wallets you've probably seen, but it's actually just part of the, it's a browser plugin or extension that works in Chrome or Brave. So what you do is you need to connect that wallet, the website to the wallet. So it comes up and says, which one do you want to use? So I'm going to say, okay, Binance. And now it comes up and it shows part of my address up here. So I know which one I'm working with if I have more than one. So then what you would do is you would go to trade and you'd say exchange. And you'd pick, now a lot of times when you go to another function, it opens another page, so you have to reconnect the wallet, which I'm going to do again. And the first time you load the browser, the extension will actually ask you for a password. Once you're in the browser and, you know, the browser's open, it doesn't ask you for the extension. So there's that security there.
So here it shows more balance for you, 0.66 than what you showed earlier. Yeah,
I just noticed that, and I was happy because that's how much I thought was in there. I pulled some Binance out of a farm earlier, so we could demo on that, because I normally, have it all farming and earning money for me.
Okay.
So yeah, so thanks for the heads up on that, and I noticed that too, thankfully. And this is one where, just like on Tron and Ethereum, you always want to keep a little bit of a balance in your wallet to cover the transaction costs. So you don't ever want to, trade the entire amount. I always try to keep at least like 0.1, just because it's easy to remember. Currently, Binance is about $275. So that would be like, $27, that kind of thing. So, not a lot, but, more than just, you could probably keep even maybe $10 worth, but that's just an easy number to remember. So how this one works is you would exchange, for Binance, and then you'd pick the other one that you want. Let's say Cake, because Cake is the token for this pancake swap. And so then you say, how much do you want to trade? Now I'd say, okay, let me trade 0.5. And it shows you how many Cake you're going to get. The price, here's the price down here, and then liquidity provider fee, and this kind of thing. So I'm not going to do this exchange quite yet, because I'm going to show you kind of the process once we decide which farm we want to do here. So as far as putting your money to work, there's two options. The first one is what they call a pool. And this is where it's basically the same if you've heard of the term staking, where you've and like Celsius, let's see, who was that, Amanda, that mentioned Celsius?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, jump in and just share a little bit what you've done there, or what you're looking to do, or what you've seen, or how that works with them.
Well, I am very, very new to all of this. I was introduced to Coinbase first and then Celsius just through a friend. I had transferred everything over to Celsius because of the rewards that you earn through Celsius. You earn higher APRs on your coins. And then also there's the opportunity for borrowing against your crypto coins. And really beyond that, that's about all I know about Celsius.
Okay, well, great. No, that's a great summary. There's a gentleman that shared his experience, which he had very good experience with about 4 months ago, something like that, and kind of shared that with us. So really about the past 6 or 8 months, maybe a little longer, this whole term staking has kind of come into play. And it's basically putting your funds to work by locking them up in a specific wallet. It seemed to start with the project's wallet. So if it was like, Theta, through the Theta wallet, you could stake. But then other exchanges or wallet providers started doing that. Like Celsius, does it with a number of coins, and they'll even do it with coins that are not normally stakeable, like even Ethereum and Bitcoin and that kind of thing. The danger with Celsius is you're giving up control of your coins to them. If they go under, you're done, you're hosed. This is the Wild West. So if there's no 800 number to call to reset your password, or to call Visa and with a fraudulent charge, that kind of thing. So I love getting the interest and earning on that, but it's also scary from that standpoint too. But this whole thing will evolve and get better. But with there are those services and options out there to earn on probably most, at least all the major coins now. And some of those like exchanges are kind of fighting for our business. Hey, I'll give you 8%, and the next one I'll give you 9% kind of thing if you stake your Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, with them. So, and competition obviously is always good, a free market, that kind of thing. So those options are out there. These pools function similarly to staking, where it's just one simple coin. And so like on this one, Cake, let's take a look here. And so it says, okay, the APR is 128%, which, what does that work out to, like roughly 1/3% per day. So compared to, 2% or 3% for a CD from the bank, or 8% on Celsius, or 3% on another wallet or whatever, 128%, is pretty darn good. So that means in a little less than a year, you're doubling your money. And if you compound, it even goes quicker. So this is how it works for Cake. And what you would do is you'd say, okay, how much? Well, actually, I don't have any Cake tokens. That's not going to work quite yet. But you would put in how many you want to stake, and then hit stake and go. And then they pay you your rewards or your earning in Cake. And so that's what how they talk about Cake earned here. Some of these other ones, looks like actually most of these, you do earn the same coin. There's been some where you could stake, like this BOR coin, but your earnings would be paid out in Cake. And that's kind of how that coin functions in this pancake swap. site. So even though you're staking one, you earn the rewards in the other, which means you've got two things to worry about as far as value going down. But that's how all these work. And you can kind of see that, you know, these are still good interest rates kind of thing, over 100%. And there's going to be some lower ones as well. So those are the pools, which is, you know, very similar to staking. Then the other option they have is what they call farms. And this is where you're working with two coins. And this is the silver and gold example where you're involved in that exchange. Like this first one is the exchange between the Cake token and the Binance token. And so they're paying 100% interest rate on that. You know, here's one for, and I don't know what this FOR coin is, and then this is like Binance's stable coin, BUSD. So here they're paying 575% on that. Now let's look at the difference in liquidity. So in this farm, they've got over 500 million in liquidity. The next one down here is just under 5 million. So obviously there's a huge difference here. The you know, the BNB is the Binance's coin up. That's number 3, you know, number 3 right behind Ethereum. And then Cake is the coin that's used for pancake swap. So that's, to me, those are like I keep wanting to use the term stable, but, you know, fairly level coins, where some of these other ones, you know, they may be great. They may be great for a week, but I don't know anything about those. So you definitely want to, you know, before you do this, know which coins that you're getting into. Don't just go, you know, sort by the highest APR and do that one, because you could look in here and in literally 6 hours later, this number might be 300. I've got a friend that we will text back and forth even at night, you know, hey, you know, check out this one. It's paying 1,800%. And you jump into it. And then because they just launched it. And then as people add liquidity, the APR goes down. Because what happens is there's a certain amount of trading and there's a certain amount of liquidity. So if you have 1% of the funds in there, you get 1% of the fees of the things that are exchanged. But if all of a sudden the amount of liquidity goes up tenfold and there's the same number of exchanges, now your cut goes down by 90%. So at the early stages, you know, there's huge numbers, but they could go away, you know, literally in hours. You know, the way these things changes. This isn't a, you know, 7-day or 5-day a week kind of a thing. It's 24/7. So to use these, you would kind of pick one you want. Actually, you can click on here to get a little more detail on each one, and then jump in. Now, to get involved with these, what you have to do is get what they call a liquidity token for that particular one. So if you want to get involved in Cake, BNB, you don't, you have to get the liquidity token for Cake and BNB. So I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. But this one, here's an example where they're going to pay you your earnings in Cake. So you're not going to earn the liquidity token, which is basically a combination of these two coins, and you're not going to earn it in BNB. They're going to give you your earnings in Cake, which is fine because you can exchange it, but just, you know, so you're clear, you know, what your earnings are going to be and how that's going to work. So what you do to get that Cake and BNB is you go to trade, and first of all, you need the Cake and the BNB token. So I'm going to go to exchange because I already have the BNB token. I've got 0.6. I've got to reconnect. And the nice thing with the cryptos is everything is based on a percentage as far as your trade fee. Let's see, why aren't we connecting? So you could do this with $100, you could do it with $1,000, you could do it with $100,000, and you're still paying you know, a little bit of a fee to exchange, and then like a network fee. Now you don't want to do this with $1 because there might be 20 or 30 cents in network fees, but don't think that you need to start with $1,000 or $10,000. If you want to start with $100, that's perfectly fine. But why am I not connecting to my wallet? Come on. Fresh here and see. See, did my wallet get this?
Hey, Brad, just out of curiosity, how are any of these stable at 1,800 or even 100% returns?
Well, I think you cut out a little bit there. One more time.
Well, I was just asking, like, all these returns are obviously quite enormous compared to, like you're saying, the bank accounts where 100% or even 1,800% are quite enormous. How are these exchanges or places staying in business? Obviously, there's some seed money that's probably fading away quickly or something, but.
Well, they're trading. I mean, they're making their money from these exchanges for the coins that are going on. And so that's where they're making their money. And so it seems like in between 200 to 300% are fairly common. The 1,800, that's kind of crazy, and that's, you know, just happens when some new project comes out or pair is added or something like that. But it seems like it's fairly easy to get a half to 1%, you know, which 1% would be like 365% APR or APR, which if you compound the APY ends up a bunch more. So I am not sure what is going on here technically.
Is it the Binance Smart Chain Network or Smart Chain Wallet?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in on another screen here. I just did the B scan. And let me show you one place to give you an idea while I'm trying to figure this out.
In this one, you are not leaving your custody, right? Of the coins, or you leave it?
They're going into the farm or the pool. And so there is a risk, and that's what I'm showing you this right now, is where this Marquette Finance did a rug pull, which means they just up and pulled out all of those liquidity coins that the people deposited and staked, and then they left, and they're gone. Everybody lost out. So that has happened, and something we need to be mindful of.
So they can take away the money and be gone.
Right. Because when we stake them in the pool or the farm, they can go away. And so I'm showing you this. This is on the Binance Smart Chain scan here, and this is showing the yield farms. And like Pancake Swap is the biggest one. Now they've only been around since September. Then this whole thing has only been around for a little over a year. The whole DeFi concept and all this. And these are just ones on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's showing you their the market cap. So they've got $1.5 billion in their various pools and farms. And this is the price of the cake token right here, is what that refers to. And so kind of what you'd want to do is take a look at this list, make sure they're been around at least for a little bit. This Goose Finance one was one that I jumped in, and see, they've only been around for a month, and they were doing some of those $1,800, the $1,800 example or 1,800% example was Goose. And I threw some in there, and it was supposed to get, what was it? No, it was 3,600% or 10% a day, basically. So I threw some money in there, a small amount, late at night, and then at 8 o'clock in the morning, it must have been about midnight. In 8 hours, I'd made 3%, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty legit, at least in crypto. So I put in a little more, and it was going good. And then in the afternoon, the price of the coin that I was in started going down. So I'm still getting that 10% a day, or maybe it went down to 2,800%, but the actual price of the coin was going down. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. And that was literally barely over 12 hours type of thing. So that, and I knew it was a new thing. And I was like, well, let me just try it. And so, that was kind of enough for me just to, stick with these ones that are going to be stable, because I don't want to be in and out in 8 hours. I'm not trying to day trade or anything, that kind of thing. I want to, the cryptos that I have, I want to just put them somewhere so they can earn and I can accumulate crypto. I'm not trying to earn a living, so to speak, but just if I can just accumulate a little bit over time, that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, if you want to make a note of this bscan or bscscan.com/yield farms, you can look at the list of the various yield farms out there and how long they've been around. I've heard good things about the Venus. I haven't tried that one myself. And Cream, this auto farm I've started using, and it looks fairly legitimate. And a lot of these actually do some of their trading back through Pancake Swap. And so they kind of interwork a little bit as far as that goes. But this is definitely a good resource. Let's see if we can connect back to do this. There we go.
Hey, Brad.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
You can also go to etherscan.io and look up yield farms.
Oh, okay, let's do that here.
But that would be on the Ethereum network, right?
Sounds like it, yeah. So that's
Yes, it is.
Uniswap. And is it under one of these here? Resources, probably.
Right there, yield farms.
Yep. Yeah, and so you'll see that these the whole format of the site looks very familiar. So if we do market cap, yeah, Uniswap, they're the ones that kind of started the whole thing. Oh, and they're actually, September as well. So I mean, this is 6 months. This is kind of cutting edge stuff. So they've got six. So they're basically 10 times as large as Pancake Swap, and much higher fees running on Ethereum. But yeah, same idea. And then I'm sure there's going to be something like for Tron as well. So definitely a good place to check out. And oh yeah, see here, they've got drained. Oh, maybe that wasn't so much of that was more of a hack as opposed to they bailed out fraudulently. Yeah.
Hey, Brad, I had a question when you get a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is Nico. Just so I'm understanding correctly, so farming versus pooling. So pooling is, they're almost, would it be wrong to say they're almost equivalent, except farming is with multiple coins?
Correct.
Is that, am I understanding that correctly?
Correct. Yeah, where with the pools, you're just dealing with one single coin.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And they don't get access to the private key, right?
No, they're still not. No, they're never going to have access to your private key. That's in your wallet, under your control, within your extension here. But we are transferring our coins to that pool or to that farm, and so that's how we're giving up control.
And in case they do, like sometimes people do mistake and they send it to a wrong wallet and my coin gets used in that, I lose my coin, right? In that case.
Yeah, I don't see that being a big problem because when we do the actual process here, which we'll do in a second, we're not actually putting an address in. So that part of it, that potential mistake kind of gets eliminated. But that's a good point. Yeah, because these sites are interacting with our wallets directly. So we don't ever have to put in the address of the pool or of the farm, that kind of thing.
So you always hold your keys to
Exactly.
your crypto.
You're always holding your keys. And then to get out of these, you would, basically it's the reverse process, and they're going to go back into your wallet that's in the browser extension here.
And it needs to be connected all the time, right? Till the farming is done, like when you
No, not at all. Once you put it into the farm, it's there and it's running. You can turn your computer off, disconnect it from the internet, whatever, and it just keeps going.
and disconnect the wallet also.
Oh yeah, because at that point it's like you've given your funds to the farmer. It's like you drove to his farm. Here's the liquidity tokens, put them to work. I'm gonna go on vacation to Disneyland. You come back 6 months later and go, okay, I'm gonna pick up more of my coins because hopefully you turned 100 into 120 or whatever, that kind of thing. But yeah, you don't, your wallet only needs to connect to do the transfer, either in or out, but it doesn't need to be connected at all times.
And there is a lockup period for it.
Generally, no. That could be a rule established by each pool. But I've generally not seen lockup periods. I've seen one where if you want to pull your coins out within 72 hours, there was a 0.5% fee. Because with these, you could literally do this for an hour and pull them out and go to a different one for 2 hours and pull it out if you want. Now you're going to be paying those transaction fees, which, in small amounts may amount to something, but you can do this 24/7. But I've seen that one. There's been some other newer ones, maybe to discourage that. They've taken I've seen ones, I think it was on that goose farm, where they took an 8% or no, a 4% cut going in. So if you put in $100, you'd in essence have $96 of funds in there earning. But then there was no percent coming out. But that's the only thing I've seen as far as any kind of a lockup or that kind of thing. So, okay, let's give this a shot. So in this case, I've got 0.66 to work with, and I want to leave that 0.1 in there. And I'm going to try to do the Binance and the cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer 0.3 of the Binance. Actually, wait, so let's do 0.25. There we go. So a little less than half over to cake. And so this is telling me how much cake I'm going to get. So I'm going to say swap. And it's going to, want me to, now the price just changed on me. Just it came up, said confirmed, and then, well, the price changed. So I have to accept the price change and confirm it. And then the wallet is asking me, I don't know if you can see this because it says it's not being shared, but the wallet is coming up and asking me if I want, now, this wallet is not, the wallet is telling me I don't have, the wallet is still seeing a zero balance. I've never had this happen before. Okay, but okay, if you click on your address up there, it says view on Bscan, and you can actually look at your wallet address, and here's your value in the Binance coin, and then any other tokens that I have. So in this one, I've got this Goose token that I have in another pool thing, and I've got $144 in that. So this is just like the ERC20 tokens, that run on the Ethereum chain. You can have BEP20 tokens, which run on Binance. So this is strange because I've, got the, right, 0.66, just like it said, but the wallet is actually telling me I don't understand. Let me try.
Did we disconnect the previous connection which you were trying to do, like a pool one? Or?
When you go to a new page, it pretty much kind of disconnects. Let me try this. I actually have two wallets working on the same address. So let me try going back into the trade exchange. And this time I'm going to connect my math wallet, which is the other one that has the same funds in it. So there's the same balance. So let's trade that to Cake and see if Math Wallet wants to work. Okay. Confirm swap. Math Wallet comes up. Confirm. Okay, so transaction submitted. So now I have, it'll take a second here. Okay, so now I've got 0.4 of Binance and I got 6 Cake. So now I'm going to go to the liquidity, and this is where I get LP or liquidity tokens for that farm that I want to do. So I'm going to say add liquidity, and this is asking me for which 2 coins that I want to do. So I'm going to choose those 2, and now it's asking how much of those 2 coins that I want to do. Now there's a ratio, so you can't violate the ratio, so to speak. And this is where it talks about that. So I'm going to say use the maximum amount of Cake tokens, and that is equivalent to that 0.25 that we just did, and that's going to leave me with a little more than, well, a good chunk more than 0.1 of the Binance. So I have plenty of funds for the transaction fees. So I'm going to say supply, which is kind of like buy that token. It's confirming that. And then I'm getting that confirmation on another window here. So now that's been submitted and worked. If I go to that B scan again, it's pending. It's too quick. Let me go to back to this one, refresh. So now my amount of my Binance has gone down, but I've got the pancake swap. Oh, it's still in there. It hasn't gone through yet. All right, let's go back here, close. Add. Okay, so here it's showing, here you can see, since I have liquidity, it's showing me that I have 1.047 pool tokens. And so that's what I'm going to put into that farm. So I'm going to go back to the farm. And if you use this other one, you can work right here. So we're going to say, oh, actually I have to connect because this is a new page. Connect, and I'm going to try the Math Wallet because it seems to be working better. Okay, and so it says, how much do you want to stake? Stake. Okay, and I'm going to say there's that same balance, 1.08. I'm going to say the maximum, and I'm going to confirm. I get the confirmation from the wallet again.
So this 1.08 is the ratio of the 2 coins you had?
The 1.08 is the number of liquidity tokens that I have. I put in the basically 0.25 Binance and 6 Cake. So that's the ratio. And so those two together bought me just over one Cake, or I'm sorry, one liquidity token for this farm. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah.
So it's the two coins that you have to put together for the liquidity token for that specific pair. And that ratio is dependent on the value of each coin at the time.
Okay.
So
And that is that the ratio is not half and half, right? It's just whatever that farm is set up for.
The value is half and half. But in this,
it is. Okay.
Yeah, in this, and I guess the value in half and half based on probably US dollars is the basic way to think of it. So if we take, was it 6 times 11 is 6 Cake tokens times the price of about $11 is $66. And then we had 0.25 of a Binance, and that's about, I think 275 is $68. Yeah. So that's right in that ballpark. So
Okay.
the funds you're putting in are half of each coin, and that ratio is dependent on the price at that point.
Okay.
So, and that's an interesting point too, because a week later, if the price of Binance stayed the same, but Cake is now worth more, and you get out the 50-50, you're going to get out less Cake tokens because they're worth more. That kind of thing. So there's a few moving parts on this. That's why I wanted to give you that gold versus silver example at the beginning, because you're starting out with your US dollars, you're converting it to silver and gold, combining those for a liquidity token and putting in, but what you're going to get out is based on the price of silver, based on the price of gold, if you're thinking in terms of US dollars.
And
So
this,
liquidity. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. Go.
I was just going to ask, so a liquidity token is not like a different cryptocurrency. It's just a representation of this like joint coin staking that you've made in this.
Exactly.
form.
Exactly. It's just, it's kind of like when you go to like a Chuck E. Cheese or something and you get their token to play in their world of arcade games.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And so each
Okay.
farm is going to have their own token, because it's just an easy way to think about, to divide up the whole pool, as opposed to trying to divide it into, your percent of the pool and then figure that out with 2 coins. It's easier to do it with 1.
So if this 1.08, suppose I put it in the farming and after 10 days I come and check my wallet or something, I can view there, or I have to come to PancakeSwap and look for it, or?
Yeah. So what you would do is you would look at this little screen right here, and it would say Cake earned, and it might say 21 or whatever, 21.3 or whatever amount of cakes that you've earned. And if you wanted to take those, you would say harvest, and that would take the Cake tokens that were sitting in the smart contract and put them into your wallet.
Wallet in 2, right? BNB and Cake separately.
No. In this case, you're earning just Cake. You're not earning both. So like in my earlier example where you were putting in gold and silver, but they were only paying you in silver. In this one, they're only paying you in Cake. And you can harvest or like withdraw your interest by clicking the harvest, and that will transfer the Cake from the smart contract to your wallet, and then you can do whatever you want with the wallet there. It doesn't put it back in to the smart contract to increase the amount that you staked. There's some other ones that will do that automatically. So when you go back and you look the next day, instead of saying 1.088, it might say 1.95. and then the next day 1.11 or whatever. And those are the ones I like better because it's automatically reinvesting your earnings, and then you earn more the next day because you're earning on your earnings as well. Those are the ones that I like because you can just put them in there and let them run. You don't have to mess with it. For this one to increase, you'd have to harvest, say you had 100 cake. So you harvest them, put them in your wallet, exchange half of those for Binance coins, and then buy more liquidity tokens and come back here and say, add another 2 liquidity tokens if I had them. And then, to increase the amount that you're farming.
And like in MetaMask, we have to add this token, right? To add token, that's not needed, right? All the time. Like if you have used it, like you add like cake, add token, and
Are you talking about like the farming token, the combination?
no, like anything on the Binance network, you have to click on add token, put in the contract, and then that coin gets added to the wallet, kind of, we see in the list.
Oh yeah. I only briefly used MetaMask, and more on the Ethereum side. When I got started with this, somebody had recommended Math Wallet. So I started with that. And then I found one that only worked, that didn't support the Math Wallet, but they supported the Binance wallet. So then I started using that one. But it looks like to actually even use MetaMask on Binance, you've got to reconfigure it or something. I haven't gotten that far to do that one because I'm using the other 2 wallets, and so far so good with there. I'm trying not to, use more than I need. It's like I just want 1 hammer. I don't want 3 hammers in my toolbox type of thing, but I'm stuck right now with two hammers. So I'm trying to keep
for
it
example, like the wallet you are using, how do I check cake in your wallet where it is, that's what I'm trying to get.
Oh, okay. Crud.
Because that is only Binance, right? Showing up.
Okay, well, let's see, if I click up here on my deal, let's see if the Binance, it's like this is just broken. It's still showing me that. But let me try Math Wallet and see what it shows. Yeah, on this one, the Math Wallet, they want to send me to some website to show me. But I like just using the B-scan thing, and this is my address right here. So if you just go to let's see, let me copy that. So if you just go to the home page, BSC scan for Binance Smart Chain scan, and just type in your or paste in, hopefully don't type it, your wallet address there. This is where you're looking on the on the chain to see what the balance is, and this is what's accurate, and where you want to do this, because the wallet is just an interface to the blockchain. So this, when you look right at the blockchain, is going to, always going to be more accurate info. Like even when my wallet is getting screwed up right now, this is what I'm seeing. So this is my Binance value, and then these other tokens that I have down here.
Cool. So any coin on the Binance network which is using the Binance contract can be sent to this Binance address, and it will show up in this list of tokens, right?
Right. If I had some other token that was on the Binance, it would just show up under here. And this adrenaline one, I don't even know what that is. I don't know if they did like an airdrop or something, but I don't even know what that one is. But yeah, so if you had 20 different ones, they would just show up down here. This list would be longer. Exactly. Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that. Yeah, because a specific wallet might not support a new coin, like one of these goose coins or something, when it comes out, like MetaMask may not support that. And that would, yeah. So it gets tricky. It gets tricky. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
I had a couple more questions, but I don't want to screw up your agenda here. Just more on the fundamental nature of these farms. Do you want me to ask that or save it
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
end?
No, go ahead. Because this was the gist of it. I wanted you to show you the kind of the process that you go through to do this. And so if you have any questions, that hopefully helps make, our meeting better, to
Okay.
clarify.
Yeah, that's you're depending on me asking good questions, so I
Yeah.
hope so.
Well, a question is better than not a question. So you're ahead there. So go for it.
Sure. So my understanding of farming really is, you know, you're kind of relying on, I guess, like you're diversifying your portfolio of, what you're staking, right? And getting maybe a more realistic APR versus relying on these super high highs and super low lows of, just basically holding on to a single coin. I don't, but I might not be understanding it fully because I know there's like, there's the value of the coin and then there's actually staking it into, the particular cryptocurrency, which they will, you will reap benefits from that. So I don't know, like, is it a combination of, I guess, diversifying and like reaping the benefits of the individual cryptocurrencies and how they would stake independently, but kind of doing that together?
Yeah. When you put the money in the pools, they're taking those funds, and I believe they're doing these, they're being involved in trading, somewhere, the people that did the smart contract are kind of doing the same thing as these farms are. And maybe they're probably smarter than we are. And maybe they're taking that cake that's individually in a pool and they're dividing it up amongst 20 different farms for diversification or that kind of thing. So in that instance, you just have to have faith in the cake token itself. And, where this one, you've got to have faith in these two tokens. So, but I think it's a great way to go, because in this case, I have faith in the Binance coin. And now that I've understand Pancake Swap, I have faith in the Pancake Swap or the cake token or the cake coin. And so I think over time, both of those are going to go up. So I'm comfortable holding funds there. Then to be able to benefit from people trading back and forth between the cake and the Binance coin is like another, it's like scoring another touchdown kind of thing.
Right.
And so that makes it even better. But, for the ones that like the Bucks and the BN, I don't know what Bucks is. So that it might be good or bad, type of thing. So I would investigate the Bucks before I did anything there.
Yeah, maybe I should have broken down my question a little more. And I see where you're going with your answer there. Okay, so how do I ask this better? So you
maybe go
get
back to
benefits from
this
you get benefits from, sorry, go on.
But because when you're talking about the staking, was that more like on the Celsius or the staking of the coin itself? Like some of them, like, will do their own staking through their own proprietary wallet.
Yeah, so even without wallets, let's just go back to the cryptocurrency. So the cryptocurrency, from my understanding, some of them you can actually stake your coins with Ethereum or with Cardano or something, right? And they'll
Yeah,
give
let's use Cardano, because that one is, I think, has the inherent staking. I know I just started staking Cardano in the Exodus wallet. Like, it's like 6 or 7%. So
right.
that's an option there.
So,
Okay, perfect.
So
Go
just
ahead.
by having that coin, you're, and then if you choose to kind of stake it somewhere, like I know Ethereum, they're going to come out with this staking feature where, you're not going to be able to move your coins around, right? For a certain period of time because you've chosen to stake, proof of stake with them.
Right.
And reap those benefits. So, okay. So now that we know there's individual staking and sometimes benefits to those cryptocurrencies, does the farm take advantage of those staking rewards, or is that something entirely different and that's not included in the farming?
Yeah, that would be entirely different because those are different.
Okay.
The Ethereum, in your case, you're locking up that with that through that wallet. Well, it might be a proprietary Ethereum wallet, or it might be Celsius or whatever. You're locking them up there. And so if you do that, you can't come over here and use them on Uniswap, which is the Ethereum equivalent of PancakeSwap type of thing. Right. Right. And if you have them staked in Uniswap, you can't do them other way. Yeah. So you got to like pick where you want to put your funds to earn on them.
Gotcha. Okay. So I just want to make sure to account for that. So, okay, that was my question. I'm sure I'll have more.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
appreciate it. So, I mean, you got to look at it overall. What, when we started this group, my goal was to educate people on kind of what a blockchain is, how wallets work, how to transfer between an exchange and a wallet, like somebody mentioned, putting in the correct address so it doesn't get lost, that kind of thing. And with people coming and going and things changing, that, we kept doing that for a long time. And so the past 6 months, it seems like we've kind of evolved a little bit, like, okay, now we're doing that. A lot of people have done that. Now we want to make some money kind of thing. So we've kind of evolved, or at least earn on our cryptos and that kind of thing. So that's where we're kind of looking at now. But you got to look at overall, not just, hey, here's one place to go, so I kind of look at it as, okay, I want to hold some Bitcoin long term. I want to hold some Ethereum long term. I've got my my long term kind of swing for the fences coin has been Theta, and I've mentioned it. You can go back a while, and it's really paying benefits. This past month or so, it's gone nuts. And then I'm kind of looking now, those are my first areas. And then I'm kind of looking at these other PancakeSwap, Uniswap kind of things where I can make 1% a day, 0.5% a day, kind of thing. But I'm still going to hold some Ethereum and hold some Bitcoin, separate. So I'm trying not to go all in one, in one area. Because that's where we can kind of run into trouble.
Why PancakeSwap over Uniswap for you?
The Binance, it's because it's all about the Binance smart chain, and it's like Uniswap is based on Ethereum, and the fees there are more expensive, and it's more established. And so the rates of return are lower because there's more people there. And this is kind of the new shiny object smart chain for right now. And so there's a lot of new activity going on and not a lot of people there yet. Like we looked at those, the market cap, the 1 point, where did it go? We have to resort. Oh, we're not on the first page. But basically it was 16 billion here versus 1.5 billion on PancakeSwap. So it's going to be interesting. I think over time, the Binance is, it's going to slow down and the fees are going to go up as it gets more established. But for right now, there seems to be more action and better returns on the Binance network. And, the Binance, if you look at the Binance coin, it's gone crazy the past month as well. Now, it's not to say that when Ethereum does kind of their 2.0, 3.0 or whatever, they're, they've been talking about all these upgrades for years, that they may take a huge leap forward and all of a sudden Uniswap is great because they're riding those Ethereum coattails. So, you know,
Mhm.
it's just kind of where Binance is kind of like really coming of age. And I don't know, it's also the timing when I got more involved in the past 2.5 months. Uniswap was more established and Binance was kind of more up and coming. So if I would have gotten involved earlier, you know, it would have been before the Binance thing even was in, you know, took off. So for me, it's a little bit of timing as well. But I would look at both places. If there's some project that you really are passionate about on Ethereum and you want to jump in, there's a farm that's working on that coin, you know, then go for that, you know, too. Like if there was, I'm a big believer in Theta. If there was something that I could stake for Theta, I would do that, especially since they're I mean, right now it's real hard for US citizens to buy Theta. And if you could get involved in a farm that was doing Theta and anything else that US citizens could use, that should be beneficial.
I
Just as
was
an
able
example.
to buy Theta a little bit using a Stellar and using Simple Swap.
Okay. And then the one we discovered last month is KuCoin, is kucoin.com, is open to US citizens. And actually I shared that with somebody and they jumped in and really were digging into it. And they've got some bots. I think they were more on their app on the phone, their app, that you can jump in and get in these trading bots. And he was getting some good percentages there. So, and I looked at it more. I'm like, wow, KuCoin is doing a lot more as an exchange than a lot of other exchanges. So just something you may want to, you know, take a peek at, the KuCoin for, you know, for Theta, if that's what you're looking for.
I wonder if any of these farms will use Cardano, because I know they have a smart chain feature.
Cardano seems to be, real up and coming. Yeah. Let's see. Zaffield raised his hand. Go ahead.
Hey, mate. I sent you a link because I get text messages from this thing called The Block. Said Binance is under investigation.
Oh, I
How will
did.
that-
Yeah.
How is that going to affect trading?
I haven't seen anything as of yet because that just came out in the last day or two. And I think it was talking about, was Binance, it sounded like they were questioning whether Binance was letting, what they're doing with US citizens, whether that was through Binance.com, which they're trying to keep US citizens out, or if they were referring to Binance.us, which was set up for US citizens. So did you read any more detail on that?
Yeah, I'm looking at where this is. I had it up. Regarding their trading activities.
Okay, yeah, I'm checking out your link here now. On Friday, yeah. Ads.
Because it literally came in, I think, or yesterday or something.
Yeah. So okay, the coin went down 6%. Yeah, and see that these different government agencies have, have tried to do different things over the time now. Like one that happened earlier this year was for on Ripple, is that a couple of these things went after Ripple, and Coinbase and some other exchanges were stopped trading Ripple. They're like, we're not going to support it. And to me, it almost looked like it was one of these things that maybe some of these Wall Street types were doing to scare people out of the coin. And then they were going to do this investigation, into Ripple. And then, oh, okay, nothing happened. And then 3 or 4 months later, the investigation is over, and then the coin goes on a tear. And so I bought some Ripple just because I was thinking that way. And it's doubled since then. I think they're still under investigation or whatever, but I don't know. So some of these things I take with a little grain of salt. So
What do you know about, there was that one currency that's apparently tied up with a bunch of stuff in court. It's not Ripple, but apparently it's connected to XLM, to Stellar Lumens.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. I don't really know anything about that, anything other than I've heard that years ago they were kind of working with IBM or something on, projects. That coin was kind of tied to IBM.
Because apparently when they finish with some sort of court, something or other, that currency should take off. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, no, I don't know anything more about that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for bringing that up. And this is one of the value that we can all bring to each other is just like, I mean, this thing popped yesterday, and we all didn't have time to get to it, but it may be important. It may not be, it may, who knows, but this is a thing we can share with each other and, and benefit from each other's knowledge and keeping our ear to the ground in different spots.
I know myself, I've used Binance.com to get Cardano through a VPN, and
Okay.
I try to get everything off that exchange as soon as possible.
Right.
You never know, like you just never know.
Yeah. And that's the real, now I've had some people tell me that they would use Binance.com and maybe they were getting shut down, but they had like 72 hours to move their coins off type of thing. But these other ones where they'll block you or, oh, we're doing wallet maintenance or something like that. I did something the other day and I went to withdrawal and it was like all of the wallets were locked. And so I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good. And I went and it was like Binance, I guess it was Binance.us, and they had posted that they were doing maintenance at 2 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock Eastern time or something. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's the window. Because it was like midnight is usually when I get into this stuff, late at night or midnight. And I'm like, okay, I'll get up in the morning, it'll be good. And it was, and all that. But I mean, it kind of freaked me out that all of the wallets were not, but they gave people a heads up if I would have known about it. And then it was in their news little feed, and the trading was still going. You just couldn't move the wallets out. So yeah, you got to keep your ear to the ground on this stuff.
How much more do you think Ethereum will jump?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because apparently it's supposed, in Bitcoin and several others, it's supposed to jump up to a cap this year, and then I guess it'll drop back down before it ramps back up, and it allegedly will require a year.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell because there's so many factors going on. It seems like what's driving some of this lately is the fact that institutions are getting into it. There was a 108-page report out last Monday from Citibank or Citi, talking about it. Actually, let me put it. I've got a URL I'll put for that. Because there's a bunch of interesting quotes in it from some of these big players.
Any chance you could stop picking your nose on camera?
Oh, I missed that. One more time.
I was requesting that the person picking their nose on camera stop doing it.
Oh, okay.
And then putting it in his mouth. That was pretty gross.
All right, no worries. Yeah, so this tinyurl.com/citycrypto is that report. It's like 108 pages, but it's interesting and it really talks about some of the institutional and these big players getting involved. So when they get involved, sky's the limit. Because the thing is, even with this big run up the past few months, we're only at a market cap of 1.7 trillion for all the cryptos, which in relation to the entire financial industry, even just in the US, that's just a drop in the bucket. So I look at the numbers, all the crypto numbers, and you could literally add a zero to everything, so everything goes up tenfold. And what, we're at 17 trillion. That's not even the debt of the US. So it's still a drop in the bucket. So trying to speculate on pricing and things jumping or that, it's tough to tell. A lot of times it ends up being, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing when Ethereum launches their next deal or that kind of stuff. So I try to stay away from that as opposed to just what makes sense, whether something's going to go up 20% this year or 200%. I don't have control, but I try to stay away from the things that don't make sense. So as far as projects, that kind of thing. So anybody else have any strategies on picking coins or avoiding coins?
Not really, Brad. I have to head out for work, so I'll give you a call, not today, but on Monday.
Oh, okay. All right. Good
Right.
having you, Ken.
Thanks for
joining us.
everything.
Take care.
I did want to ask regarding Pancake Swap and Cake, why those two? I have Coinbase at current. I'm not familiar with Pancake Swap and Cake.
Okay. So Pancake is, you know, allows you to get involved in these pools and the farms to earn these kind of interest rates here. You know, like this 100%, the 500%, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is completely different than Coinbase, and I forget which other coins that you were in or involved there. But this is, so overall, this is the way what this is for, in my mind, is if you have crypto and you want to earn some interest or equivalent to interest, and and put your crypto to work, this is a way to do it without having to trade. There's these trading bots or trading strategies and this kind of thing. Similar to staking, a little more advanced than staking, a little more risky. You're involved in a few different coins potentially, that kind of thing.
Yeah, apparently they Pancake Swap allows something to the effect of 500K to sort of slide around.
I miss, they allow what?
Here, I have an article on it because I've been looking at this to make certain I am aware. Dropping this into the chat. Because I don't want to put my money into something which is sort of going to walk off. So I have questions regarding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. Let me click on that and open that up.
They use a model, but it's like a fake model to illustrate points, but it's the words that I'm more interested in.
Where that went here. Okay, so they're looking at audit, and that's an important point, is auditing these smart contracts. So they're out there on the blockchain, so people can check them themselves. Now, most of us probably don't have the technical skills to be able to audit them. It's kind of like digging under the hood of your car too much. At some point, we all get lost, unless you're an engine builder. Yeah, no, I'm a car guy too, so but some of this electronic stuff, it's like, what's going on in that black box? No one knows. Give me a simple carburetor, relative simple. Yeah, this is a great. I don't have time to go through the whole, take it in, but yeah, this would be, your research and due diligence that you'd want to look at.
How long have you used Pancake Swap for?
Month and a half. I started getting into about two months ago. Yeah, the first of the year type of thing. Now, you know, it's the biggest one on the blockchain, on the Binance blockchain. I referenced earlier the guys at Art Crypto really like it, and they're, you know, head and shoulders, you know, they're forging a path on this stuff, and so they're really into it. Yeah, no, I'll look at this. I see this is dated back in November, so a whole world could have changed by then in this
True.
you know, kind of thing. But
So regarding cake, is that necessary for entry into utilization of Pancake Swap, or can I use my Coinbase wallet?
that's two different things. Okay, so the Coinbase is a wallet which you cannot use. What you need is like a DeFi compatible wallet, which would be like, I don't know if you can see these drop down. So I've got installed right now, I've got the Binance chain wallet, Math wallet, and MetaMask. And those all work on the Binance. And so that's what you'd need to use to interface with Pancakes, with the Pancake Swap site or any of the other ones. Similar if you were doing it on Uniswap on the Ethereum chain. So the Coinbase account, yeah, that's just like a completely different thing. So you'd need one of these wallets to work with Pancake Swap, and then whether you would only need Cake if you were doing something that used Cake, or that was part of, like there was a pool for just BNB. Let me see if I can find it. I think I had it. Like if you just wanted to stake the BNB token, you could do just that. I think they might have paid you. Your reward might have been in Cake. I don't see it now. There's also a wrapped version of BNB, which I don't completely understand why they have both, but that will say it will be a WBNB, and you can exchange those two. So you can exchange BNB for WBNB. Yeah, there. So there's that one, just to be aware of if you see both of those. So does that answer your question on the Coinbase?
Sort of. So Binance, Math, or what was the other one?
MetaMask. MetaMask, yeah. Yeah.
And which one is the most reliable?
That's an interesting question today, because I've never had this problem with the Binance chain one. MetaMask has been around longer, and it does support other networks. So you might want to start with that. It might be a little harder to use on Binance. That's why I kind of was going with the Binance chain wallet, but then there's a couple that didn't even support that. And let me mention one thing too, is for US citizens, the Binance, so there's two versions of the Binance coin. There's what do they call it? Because the one that
or something. Right?
Yeah, you have to use the Binance Smart Chain version. And so the easiest way that I've seen for US citizens to do that is to exchange it through the Trust wallet, which they do have a Trust wallet extension, I believe, but I've been doing it on the app.
Yeah, I did it yesterday. So in Binance.us, I bought BNB and send it to the Binance wallet, which you were showing directly. And then it changes the coin and sends to the MetaMask, like, you know, from Binance to Binance Smart Chain. It does it for you.
It automatically converted?
Yeah, it converts and sends to if you put in the address, it automatically converts. Like if you type in the Binance chain wallet, your MetaMask Ethereum kind of wallet, you know,
Right,
the
right.
address, it automatically changes it and sends, you know, it does it for you.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna have to try that. So you sent it to which
So I bought it at Binance.us, BNB,
BNB, right?
and used the Binance chain wallet, which you were showing right now, which you
Okay.
were using.
Right.
I sent it and it had the address. I think it starts with BNB, right?
Well, no, because this one starts with OX. Or, I'm sorry.
OX. So I sent it to here. Yeah. And then this one, and then I used the Ethereum MetaMask, created a smart chain Binance over there. And this wallet was able to send it to that, you know, after converting it automatically.
Okay, because what I was doing was using the Trust wallet. Yeah. So
Okay.
here's the different ones.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was using, I think, the Binance chain wallet. So the Binance chain wallet.
Yeah, because the one that you need to do Pancake and these other ones are the smart chain network. And those addresses start with the OX.
Yeah.
The other ones are the ones like you mentioned that start with the BNB.
Yeah, so BNB one, I sent it here, and from here you can convert it to the OX one. So you can convert it from the BNB to this one.
So when you say here, you're talking about the Binance plugin here in the browser.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's great. That's great help. I'm going to test that just to make sure. Not that I don't believe you, but I want to test it just to make, you know, it's the process, the steps to go through, just like, you know, a recipe, making a cake or, you know, whatever. And we know how to do the steps because we definitely don't want to lose the coins. But I've been doing the same thing, converting it through the Trust wallet, which is the app. There's an app, you know, on your phone you can do. And then I had a friend that actually was using the Trust wallet with Pancake, so then he could do everything on his phone instead of having to come back to the computer. So
the Trust wallet can do everything.
It can do quite a bit. Yeah. And I was happy to see that. The other upside with the Trust wallet is you can buy coins with it using a debit card because that was what Coinbase to me was always the bridge between the fiat world and the crypto world. So I would, you know, go from my bank to Coinbase, buy Bitcoin, and then send Bitcoin to an exchange and go from there. But now that you can buy directly on the Trust wallet with a debit card, and I think the fees might be a little bit higher, but I'll have to check that. It might be less expensive to go like Binance.us and link that to your bank account.
So this is Trust Crypto and Bitcoin wallet from DApp Platform Inc.
Let me look at it in the Play Store here and see.
Crypto wallet store, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP. I think it was XRP that was the one that I was referring to. XRP and XLM are hooked together or something.
I've heard that connection. I haven't really. Yeah, DApp's platform. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, but it's kind of got like that symbol. I don't know, what does that look like? Like a shield for their logo.
Yeah, it's a blue shield on a white background.
Right. That's it.
The shield is hollow.
Correct.
Okay, I'm grabbing that at the moment.
Yeah. So you could also use that to transfer your Bitcoin from your Coinbase to that Trust and then swap it to the Binance in that wallet. There's a lot of functionality in the Trust wallet.
Okay, is it more or less expensive than Coinbase?
I'm not sure. I haven't bought any myself. Yeah.
You've not bought any crypto through Trust wallet or through Coinbase?
I have not through Trust wallet, and I have not bought any through Coinbase for several years. I do some mining, so I generally have put my funds into the mining equipment and mine the coins, and that's how I acquire them as opposed to buying them outright. You know, with US dollars, and then I
How-
convert
How
to
could
other
one
coins.
go about mining?
That's a whole nother story, and I wouldn't recommend that at this point unless you have a lot of extra solar energy you're not using. Especially in California, the expense of the power is a real deterrent to that. If you're up in Washington State, where they have really cheap power, 2 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour, definitely let's talk. But I wouldn't recommend the mining really to anybody. Somebody asked me that very question. They're like, hey, I got about $5,000 to work with. You know, what mining equipment should I get or whatever? And I said, look at this DeFi stuff. And he's like, oh, this is good. And, you know, he's been running with that.
Proof of stake is also kind of mining. So
What do you know about crypto browser?
I haven't heard of that one.
Take a look at it on the internet, you'll see.
Do they pay rewards in crypto or something?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm doing with the Brave browser. But I'll take a look at that one
Brave
too.
could do that.
Crypto, yeah. Oh, mining browser. Okay, all right. I'm definitely gonna look at that. I'm big on the mining. Oh, and a mobile. Hey, see, excellent, excellent, excellent. My day is getting busy with some more research here. Okay, yeah, we've been going here a while. Let's kind of wrap up the questions. I don't want to keep you guys too long or make this video too long for folks looking at the recording. Any other specificity? I know Kristen, a couple others we were talking. Yeah.
I just had one quick question. I know you said about the mining, but what about Umbrel or some of these other newer companies who are offering, I think, kind of like a package for you to mine with? Do you know much about that yet?
I don't know those specifically. The whole cloud mining term,
Yeah.
you know, was out before, and a lot of them turned out to be just scams kind of thing. So we have so many more options now to earn money in the crypto space than 3 years ago when mining was a way to, you know, put some money to work and then see those rewards monthly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really go down the mining path.
Okay.
I mean, even I like it. Just I like fiddling with the equipment and because I've been a computer geek for 35 years.
Yeah.
But if I had, you know, 5 or 10 grand to work with, I would go the DeFi route. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? Amanda, how does this stack up to Celsius, do you think, or that kind of thing? And then Gary, if you had any questions or thoughts, or Daniel, I love seeing the racetrack in your picture there.
Oh, the final thing you were going to show, the swap, the one you were doing, you did not finish it, right? The farming or.
Oh, as far as like going backwards on this?
No, I mean the last part, like the end, you were going to put it on farming, right? So something like that.
Oh, yeah, we did that. We did
Okay.
that. So we got the, let's see, like this grid view better, you can see them. So, okay, so I need to connect in this screen, connect wallet. And the math seems to be working better. Yeah, so here, this is the one that I stake the liquidity tokens into, the 1.08. And so since then I've earned 0.001 of a cake token. And so, you know, I could just leave this and, you know, come back in a week or 2 weeks or, you know, whatever, and that kind of deal. Yeah, and if I wanted to get out of this, I would just hit the minus to unstake my tokens, you know, take the maximum out and pull them out. That's, I would go back, and then I would go back to the liquidity and basically just go backwards, you know, remove the liquidity. I would get my cake and my BNB tokens back and then go from there.
Isn't that similar to staking band protocol?
No, I'm not familiar with that one. I mean, the staking process is basically locking up your funds. You know, they can do their thing and then you can unstake them. Some of them, you have to stake for a minimum amount of time, that kind of thing. But is the band, is it like BND or?
I believe so. Hang on, I can look it up. Have to,
I think BAND band.
yes. It banned. It's simply banned.
Okay.
If you look on Coinbase, you'll see it.
Oh.
What it says about it is banned is cryptocurrency is a cryptocurrency that describes itself as a cross-chain data oracle platform that aggregates and connects real-world data and APIs to smart contracts. So by buying into this, it's staking all of the different transactions running throughout the entire world. Bend allows blockchains to access data such as stock prices and weather that are available via API. Note, Coinbase only supports the banned token running on Ethereum. So banned protocol is meant to it's meant to stake all of the different transactions running worldwide.
Okay, from what you listed, I don't see the correlation to actually being involved in staking, you know, actually the funding part of it. I understand the Oracle and keeping track and interfacing the data and this kind of stuff, but I don't think there's quite the connection to benefiting economically from the other, you know, like it's not like cross staking, that kind of term, if that makes sense. So I mean, a lot of these projects will do things, especially this whole Oracle thing, where somebody's trying to become the Oracle for these kind of deals. But that's a challenging process to be the one. But I'll have to look at that one a little more. It's already up to like 137 on the market cap list, 135. So that's pretty impressive. And so, yeah, interesting. But I don't think there's quite the connection between the you know, you're not going to invest in that and you're going to get investments in all the other coins, so to speak. But I could be wrong, but there is one that does that. That is called Base, BASE. Let me just double check. And what they're trying to do is mimic the market cap of the entire all the cryptocurrencies on a 1 to 1 trillion ratio. So right now their price is 1.77, which would be equivalent to 1.77 trillion of crypto market cap value. So if you're looking to invest that way, that might be a way to do that.
I'm sorry, Brad, what is that again?
It's
Base?
BASE.
Okay.
Let me do that on a sharing
Oh, thank you.
screen here. You guys can still see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, I've got some other yellow box that popped up. Oh, no, it went away. Okay. Yeah, so this one is relatively new. Yeah, it looks like it just came out in December. And their goal is to mimic the entire, so it's like an S&P 500.
Oh, okay.
But for the entire crypto sphere, you know, kind of thing. So to me, that, you know, because you got Bitcoin is 60% of the market cap. Now we show that here up at the top of Coin Market Cap, and they've just added this Ethereum is 12%. So right there, that's 73%. But if you wanted to get the entire, you know, under the entire umbrella of of all the cryptos, you could use this Base to do that. Now let's see where it's traded.
So regarding the band protocol, I've got a couple bucks in that. I've watched it grow as more people use transactions, but you're not getting a piece off of everything. You're only getting a piece off of what band protocol states.
Okay. And what they're, and if they're involved in those services of these decentralized things, you know, that could obviously grow as there's more need or more demand for those services, for sure. But they just may not be tied directly from a dollar to dollar or coin to coin ratio.
I don't believe it is. I think it's tied into however many transactions that insurers go through.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool. Okay, well, let me mention, I wanted to mention one more thing for those of you that are in the Fresno area. If you want to mark your calendars for May 22nd, we're going to celebrate Bitcoin Pizza Day, which is, you know, this holiday for us crypto folks to celebrate the first purchase using Bitcoin 11 years ago. And I know a lot of people have been itching to get together in person with this COVID thing. So I don't know where or how we're going to do it, but somewhere we're going to get together in person, somewhere here, Fresno, Clovis area on the 22nd. I've already got a guy that will sell pizzas to us using cryptocurrencies. And so it's just going to be a fun thing. You know, we might live stream or do something or whatever, but if you're in the Fresno, Clovis area, mark your calendars for that. And then we'll obviously have, you know, our other meetings online or via Zoom here, you know, in the next month. But since it's a couple months away, mark your calendars. That's a week before Memorial Day, so it won't conflict with that at all. So with that, thank you for coming. I'll post a link to the recording. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email or text or in Meetup. You know, we can message each other that way. There's also comments you can put under each of the events about those specific things. So look forward to talking to you guys in the future. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Have a great one.
Can you hang on for a second so we can exchange contact info?
Sure. Let
Wonderful.
me do that in chat here.
Okay, I was gonna grab a pen and paper, but
let me get the chat window. Yeah, and I usually try to do that. So
how do you pronounce your last name?
Roltgen?
German?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, and where are you from?
LA.
Okay. Good.
Quarantine happened, and so I decided I'm gonna finally get around to school, and so I'm in